for Kirk. We're out here with the model railway, Bolton Trinity Road, and I mentioned at a few places about the bridges that I've been building, and a lot of people have been asking about the how-to guide, asking when it was going to come. So today we're going to be talking about the Orlando Street Bridge, which is the last bridge that I needed on this layout. The real bridge still exists, and it's quite an ornate cast iron bridge. And I decided that the best way to replicate this was using thin layers of plasticard overlaid on top of each other to build up the pattern of the cast iron. It's a similar technique to building an ordinary girder bridge, but we're looking for a much more flatter effect in this, but the techniques are much the same. We built the road deck out of 2 layers of thick card with a balsa frame in between. This makes it really lightweight but very strong, which is very important. We're going to make it removable from the layout. The piers stay put with the layout, and then the bridge deck lifts out, rather like how a real bridge actually would if you've got a big crane and lifted them out. They all come out in one piece. But that deck gives us all the strength, and the girders are really just window dressing. They're there to look pretty. The plasticard that we use to build it out of is just standard stuff you can buy from a model shop, and it's thin like this. I tend to buy the white sheets, but it comes in, you can get it in black, and you get it in clear as well if you wanted to make things like windows out of it. And it's, as you can see, it's very flexible. And what we do is, it comes like a big A3 sheet, and you just mark out the pieces that you want to actually build from it. I tend to cut it into long strips for the bridges, and then cut the strips down to the required lengths. And you can mark on the plasticard with something as simple as, I use a black biro pen, as you can see. It does draw on it quite well, doesn't rub off too easily, which pencil would. And when you come to finally paint it, you can overpaint over the biro marks. They don't matter, they don't show through the paint. And as we can see here, there's other thinner strips that I've cut from the bigger sheet, and these will be glued onto the top to form the girder texture. So we build them up, 2 girders, one either side. We need to make sure that there's a real feeling of depth to the bridge. You don't want it to be obvious that the actual deck of the bridge is as thick as a piece of cardboard, because it won't look right. So what we've done with this bridge is we've tried to get it so that the distance between the top of the deck, the road level, and the bottom of the girders, there's about, I think it's about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, so it gives a real sense that there's a genuine thickness and bulk to this structure, and we can build up any pattern that we like from the plasticard. The plasticard itself stiffens up the more layers that you're adding over the top, gluing on. I use Humbrol liquid polystyrene cement. There are other cements available for this job. This is almost watery. It's very good, sticks fairly quickly, forms a good strong bond. The one thing to watch out for though is if you get any on your fingers, everything that's plastic that you touch will start to dissolve, so you'll leave fingerprints and everything. So you just need to have something like a piece of tissue around just to wipe your fingers, and make sure obviously that you don't handle anything like locomotives or rolling stock immediately afterwards, because you will damage the finish on them. The fumes that it produces are fairly potent, so make sure you're in a well ventilated area, otherwise at best you'll get a headache, at worst you'll get quite sick and ill. Once we're done, we can paint the structure, picking colours that are appropriate to our time scale and period. I was originally going to paint these bridges to match Bolton Trinity Street's real Orlando Street Bridge, which was quite a nice chocolatey brown, picked out in various shades of cream, until I realised that the period that I was modelling, British Railway bridges tended to all be painted in a rather drab battleship grey, which actually suits me just fine because it's quite hard to pick out the detail with different coloured paints and make it look realistic. So I painted this one in all over Humbrol number 67. Get good coverage from this. If you need to, you can do 2 coats. Make sure that you're getting all the nooks and crannies, otherwise the white will show through. Leave it to dry, dries fairly quickly, and then we can turn to doing the road covering. As it initially starts out, you've just got the flat cardboard, and what we've done here is we've built up pavement sections using more offcuts of the thin cardboard and super quick building papers, the pavement covering. These we cut to size, glue on, and this just gives the pavement a feeling that it's got a depth, that it's not flat to the road surface, and that you've got a curb edge. Once that's all glued on, what I've actually used is thinned down roofing bitumen paint. It's a new technique that I've been trying out that does seem to work reasonably well. This gives a very tar-like appearance. If you don't add anything to it, it dries quite smooth and shiny and doesn't really quite look right. So what we've done is I've sprinkled some Javis scatter over the top. It doesn't really matter what colour you use because it will take on the colour of the bitumen paint, and then afterwards, just to make sure that everything is firmly bedded, I've gone over with a much thinner wash of mostly white spirit with a little bit of the bitumen paint. It's actually just the material that I've used to clean the brushes, and that beds down the scatter, makes a more uniform cover, and then you leave that to dry. Once that's dry, we can just add road vehicles. I've chosen not to glue these on because the bridge deck is removable. Underneath we've got a lot of point work, and it's important to retain access to that because you can guarantee, as we said about the Trinity Road bridge, that if you have any problems, fate will ensure that it will be in the least accessible place. And there we go, that is the Orlando Street Road Bridge in a nutshell. Dead easy to build. If you wanted to modify the idea for doing something like a girder bridge, all you do is build up a different profile with the offcuts of plastic card, laying them perhaps end on instead of flat on, to give the appearance of metal plates that have been riveted together at 90-degree angles, instead of just cast metal. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that this video has been very informative and helped all those people who are asking for a little how-to guide on building bridges. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more videos as they come up. And don't forget to make that like button's day by giving it a tickle with your mouse pointer. You know you want to. And share this video with other people as well, anybody that you think might benefit from seeing this. Don't forget to share this video as well if there's anybody else that you think would benefit from seeing these videos. Check the channel for everything that we've ever done, going right back. There's lots of how-to videos on there, and videos that detail the construction of this layout, Bolton Trinity Road, and also watching train videos go by if you're that way inclined, just seeing a few different consists passing on by here on Bolton Trinity Road. I've been Jennifer Kirk, and you've been watching one of my videos. You take very good care for now.